is here. We can do it properly. Or do you want to just
He comes in sometimes. It's kind of fun.
Okay.
It kind of adds a little chaos to the chaotic podcast.
Great.
Your boyfriend saw your therapist?
My boyfriend and I both saw the same therapist. I'm just trying to think if he would like this. He's super private, so I'm just trying
we can take it out too.
No, yeah. I think it's fine. My boyfriend and I both saw the same therapist when we just started dating and having like a little bit of just a few kinks that we needed to work out, not in the fun way, just sort of emotional damage kinks. And neither of us are very interested in couples therapy.
But what did you just describe?
But we thought if we see the same person, she'll have both of our perspectives and be able to guide us accordingly without us competing.
She just did couples therapy separately, essentially.
Yeah. We just paid double to do the same thing.
Wow. Mm-hmm. I've had a couples counselor for a long time.
Mm-hmm. How do you find that? How do you not compete?
Oh, we do, but then we discuss it. But I don't think I've ever been there. I've never talked to her alone.
Oh, hello.
Hello,
Hi.
Russell. Welcome.
Hi, it's so
Russell,
fucking boiling and stressful out there, isn't it? I walked.
Midtown.
Yeah, it was.
Welcome our co-host Russell Daniels. Sorry, we started talking about therapy, and I said we have to start.
Okay.
This is Russell. This is my co-host.
Hi,
So
Russell.
sorry.
Did you ever see
Hi.
Titanic off Broadway?
No, I didn't.
Okay, it was a show
I'm
he was
sorry.
in.
Oh, well done.
Sorry, I
Name more
usually-
credits. That
You saw Gutenberg? Gutenberg with Josh Gad?
yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
So,
How are you?
We'll get into it in a minute.
Okay.
I just ran from the train.
Oh my God. Thank you for saying that. You know what? That means the sweat hasn't hit you yet.
Oh,
it hits
it
me.
has.
It hits me on a 5-second delay.
It has
once
hit
I get
me.
in.
yeah, I'm going to
Yeah.
feel it in a second.
Have a little sip of a drink.
Good idea.
Thanks
Yeah.
for being here, buddy.
Thank you.
We were just talking about couples therapy, and I was saying that my boyfriend and I saw the same therapist but separately. By the way, is the sound of the aircon okay?
Yeah,
it's
we'll be all
okay.
good.
Oh, you prefer it? Okay, fine.
No, it doesn't bleed in.
Oh, that's insane.
Yeah.
I
it's
appreciate
good.
you looking
Oh,
out
that's
for us,
good
though.
to know. Yeah. Well, I've been traumatized by being a host for such a long time.
I know.
Yeah.
What?
So I've never talked with my couples counselor without Tova, my girlfriend.
Do you
there.
want to though?
Oh, I do.
What would you want to say?
I'd be like, here's what's really happening.
Yeah. Wait, are you not saying what's really happening?
No,
now?
I am, but like the it's a lot for your therapist to juggle. When you would go to a session, would she say, "Well, okay, here's what he said"?
Yeah, totally. We
That's
were,
fascinating.
but it was great because it didn't bring out it didn't turn into a sport. I worry that with the two of us, it would turn into some sort of a sport competing for affections. But anyway, he had to stop seeing her because she just preferred me. And at one point said to him something along the lines of, if you hurt her, I'll kill you.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
So I
it's
suggested,
time for him to go.
he told me that. He came home a bit rattled by it. And I was like, I think you need to get your own therapist. I've clearly won her.
Yeah.
And now you need to find a guy of your own who
Yeah.
I never speak to. And that's just your guy.
Yeah.
I think if Freud saw what happened to a therapy, he would kill himself on the spot. I don't know, but part of it's like, I think it would be nice sometimes to mix it up, to do a session.
I think if I was a couples therapist,
I
don't know
would
what I said.
love
I
to
would
be
like,
a couples
I
therapist.
would like to do one together, then single, and then back together.
Sure.
Because I feel like you would learn some things.
Of course.
From
I
both.
have a theory about therapy
Okay.
where if I were a therapist, I would demand 5 to 6 letters from people you know about you that you're never allowed to read. They get sent directly to me so that I have a rounded perspective, because there are so many people I know who've been in therapy for such a long time who are still insane, and it's
Yeah.
because they're being affirmed, quite likely, by their therapist on what they're coming, because you've
100%.
only got their perspective.
I think
so
even
I
looser.
want everyone's.
You should be able to leave Yelp reviews for other people's therapists.
Because you can sometimes you're talking to a friend and they're telling you the sort of things they've talked to their therapist about, and you're like, I think this is hurting you. I think this is like some of the negative things about you are being upheld, and if not even emboldened by what a therapist is telling you. Do you know?
This is why my boyfriend and I wanted to go to therapy separately, so that like she was hearing both sides of the story.
Sure.
Because I didn't know if my perspective was correct or not, so I wanted an umpire, but I'm just incredibly lovable, and
so you would be a couples
She loves
counselor.
me.
You think you'd be good?
I just want the tea. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
I think it's just from like a salacious.
Yeah.
It's just
You'd
from a
be like, "Oh
salacious
my
point
God."
of view.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I would lose my mind over that sort of job.
I have my theory for therapy. Sometimes I go, friends, you should do a once a year couples counselor check-in. I think why if we do couples counseling, we accept that this might be useful.
Okay.
Surely a best friend could
Right.
be good.
I think that's troublesome.
Now, why is that troublesome?
Because it's crossing too much of a boundary with the friend. What if
What, just because we don't fuck? There's not depth.
Wait,
and
what are you saying? You're saying you should do couples therapy with a friend.
He wants once
As
a
in-
year.
Oh,
to
you
do.
thought like-
as in you two go to couples
wants
therapy.
once
Oh
a
yeah,
year.
not
For your
like us
friendship.
running it. Like we get a couple and we
Yeah.
get to like kind of joke
I
together.
have no idea what's happening.
Yeah.
Now.
I mean, like
Tell
you
me
would
what
be a
you're
couples
suggesting.
counselor
Okay.
for our friendship.
Yes, that I would love.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone needs that. I think that's every. Are you okay? Yes. Okay. Just checking. Sorry, I thought it was choking. Yeah. No. Every. I think. Not seasonal, but every 6 months, friends should go.
Every 6 months.
Yeah, every 6 months, friends should go through therapy together. 100%.
Yeah.
Hey, if you schedule it for a podcast thing, I'll
Let's
be,
go
yeah.
right now.
Let's go right
I-
now.
Yeah.
I'm not
Okay.
supposed to be the one that
Yeah.
lies down, but I
Okay.
will.
Listen,
I
you're
will.
changing a lot about
Yeah,
the
yeah.
traditions. Let's just lean in. Okay. What would you? We're in a good place right now, unfortunately,
Yeah.
but we can find something.
I feel like we're in a really good place.
We are. But let me
Imagine
tell you,
if
couples
this
counseling has
episode
taught me one.
breaks. I suddenly feel afraid. I'm like, what if I break up this podcast?
know,
What if I
wow.
uncover something?
There's nothing worse than going to couples counseling when things are good. There's nothing worse
What
because
does it feel?
because you're scared.
So I've never done couples therapy. So,
Sure.
So what is it? Why is it so bad when things are good? Because it
'cause-
will create something bad because you feel like you need to turn up with something.
Well, yeah, you need to talk about something, and even if things are good, there's something you could bring up, and you're paying money, and you can't just sit there and
You
go
don't
things are
wanna
good.
waste
It's like an episode of The Downside.
No.
If you're gonna try to find something someone can complain
Yes.
about. Yeah.
Yes. So you go and we're like, well, we're good. Well, a couple days ago, and then boom, boom,
Yeah,
boom,
yeah.
boom, boom.
What do you think of the idea of 5 to 6 friends? Sorry, I really am hung up
No,
on this.
let's
5
let's
to 6
go.
friends writing to your couples therapist about what they think about your relationship,
I'm
as
trying
to
to
whether
think-
or not they think
Oh, our
that you are.
relationship?
Yes.
Oh my God, I would. All I would
Can you
do
imagine?
is
No,
try
because
to
all
get-
you'll be doing
would-
is like trying to guess the friends like by what the therapist says. Like, who said that to you?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's what I would be doing.
Would you start planting stories amongst your friends to see who's?
Oh, I would get to the bottom of it for sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's also like, how much do you know? Like, I know his wife. His wife is great.
Yeah.
Well
Well done.
But I don't know.
Lovely.
I don't know the things.
Mm-hmm.
I know little
I'm
things
a
here
little
and
But we
there.
all have
I'm a
an
little-
opinion on whether or not we think our friends are. You know, we know who the friend is really still in love with from their past. We know who the best sex of their life really was with. You know, we
Oh
have
my
the.
God.
No, but it's true. It's true. This is why I can't shag any of my friends because I know like who's rocked their world, and I know that would be in my mind the whole time I was having sex with them. For the many reasons I don't have sex, but that's one of them. Once you know who the best fuck of someone's life is, you can never have sex with them
I do
unless
think
you
if
are
we
an
fucked, I'd be
extremely
thinking about
competent
that
person.
college
Me and-
story you told me. I guess that's true. I don't.
I
so
think you
have-
know if someone's really the one. You know, there's this theory that's kind of going around at the moment about men that men don't necessarily always settle down with the right woman. They settle down with whichever woman's around when it's the right time, when they feel ready to settle down. This is not all men, of course, but it's a kind of general theory. And when I think to some of my male friends and who they've ended up with versus who I think they seemed happier with,
Interesting.
I would have some things to say to a therapist.
I hear that.
I'm a toxic person.
You want what's best for your friends.
Yeah.
I don't think Russell's been with me through one other more significant person.
But nothing this.
nothing
this
like
degree,
this.
yeah.
My God. But
Yeah.
but one person,
Yeah.
and there's no way.
No.
There's no way.
No, there's
I know that letter's going to say,
That's
listen,
good.
I don't have a big sample size, but this is definitely the better of the
Absolutely
two.
No way.
Yeah.
Do your guy friends, they share, they go, this was the shag of my life?
Yeah, or I ask those sorts of questions.
Oh.
I'm a nosy person. I like to know all the details of all the best highs and lows of your life. I know who the worst shag is as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know,
Sure.
But I know everything about all of my friends.
Wow.
But this is normal, like, girl brain. We ask follow-up questions and we want
That's
to know
so true.
everything. You know, like, it's the amount of times that
The amount of times that I hung
Yeah.
out with, and I get home, Nicole's like, "What'd you guys talk about?" And you're like, "I truly no idea."
No,
Like-
exactly.
Like, and then like we start talking, and
Wait,
she goes,
that's not
"So
fully
you did
true."
talk about things, because then things will come out."
Of course.
But it's like it's really hard sometimes to.
No, you know the reason is because it's like when the guys were together, we're just talking about porn
Not
and
just,
we're talking
not
a
just.
lot. We're talking a lot about just general.
What specifically about porn are you talking about?
Just you see that?
No, it's a more nuanced thing than
Are you
that.
on the same algorithm?
No, we're definitely.
No, but some kind of
I'm
sometimes.
surprised. So some friends they look at porn. They look at things on Instagram. My Instagram
Do you
is not
send each
like.
other porn?
No.
No, you sent me the
You know,
Sydney
I got-
Sweeney Reddit page.
No, I don't.
What are you talking about? You don't.
I
Give
one
me the
time
phone.
as a joke sent you one thing, and now it's become your every episode you say this like I'm some sort of skeevy pervert on Reddit all the
I
time.
got I got disciplined by NBC in my
Really?
first week at the Good Place.
Why? What
For
happened?
what?
I did not know that you are not supposed to show people at work pornography, even if you're doing it because you think it's really funny.
Who?
And
Okay.
it's because I bought the domain of porndub.com because
Porndub.com?
I wanted to dub pornography with comedians with and
Oh.
famous actors of what we think they're really thinking about during this act.
Oh, that's funny.
I love it.
And thank you. And so I was playing it to different comedic actors who I thought would be great in this video. And I got disciplined. I got heavily disciplined. And I was like, I'm English. This is how we make friends with each other.
I mean, it
That's
does sound
really
like
funny.
a lie that you made up on the spot. Where you're like, why were you
No,
showing
I'm
them
No,
porn?
I owned
invented-
the
No, I
domain.
know. I believe
I
you.
owned the domain.
I think it's a good idea. What's going on with this idea?
I think I got traumatized by it back then. Maybe I'll bring it back. Do you want to do it?
Yeah, we'll do it.
Let me see
You do
what
a
video
video.
you had in mind.
I haven't got one on me right now because I had to. I've stopped watching pornography because it started to break my brain. I was watching it for a while when I was doing a documentary about porn and the impact on children, and then it started to break my brain, and I started to, if I'd hear a tap go, I was thinking about squirting, and if I'd see like a waitress, an elderly waitress bend over, I would see her naked in
my
my
God,
brain, and I was
wow.
like, oh my God, this is only a few weeks.
So
So
you know
I
what
can't
it's like to
imagine
be
what's
a
going
guy,
on with
I
men.
guess.
Honestly, it changed the way that I looked at the experience of men's brains.
Yes.
Now that I know what they're looking at, because every if I hear, I'm
Totally.
you know what I'm
I do
thinking
think
about. I'm
that
thinking
they're-
of balls slapping against an ass. You
Sure,
know,
sure.
It broke me, so I threw
For
my
sure.
laptop in the River Thames.
For sure. I definitely feel like there's times where it's like, okay, we need to, like, there's
Pull it
there,
back.
yeah, there, because you do feel like if it's too much, like it's too much, you know, and it's
Well,
and it's
that's-
hard for you because you're on the road. You're in
I'm on the
hotels
road.
all
I'm in
the time.
hotel
And
rooms.
when the hotel rooms,
those little towels
hotel
they're calling
rooms,
out. They say no
yeah.
one's going to keep track
Yeah.
of these. And
That's a hard life,
well,
my friend.
I don't like. I was talking about Twitter is it's still the app that I'm addicted to, but
Yeah.
now there's more. You know, obviously, I'm probably they can see it that I'm slowing down when it comes up, but there's like porn, and sometimes I go, I don't need this. I'm there for like little joke things, but now it grabs your brain,
Aw.
and I go,
Are you okay?
I'm okay.
Yeah.
But I go, oh, there are places that I don't want porn to be a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
But then isn't this where people go, this is where like people go further and they go, well, I don't want to see women in yoga pants
Mm-hmm.
because it makes me think this. And so you have to deal with.
Yeah.
But I think that's what those guys, whenever those guys get like worked up about dress code, I think it's because they go, God, I'm trying to focus on work.
They're just
And-
telling us that they're watching porn all
Basically.
the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think people's porn histories should be public domain. I think there's a lot of there's a lot of ways
What
that
do
we
you
talk.
think?
I don't think that, but
do you
I
think
also
just public figures? You mean like political figures, or like a bit like how
Political.
Do you follow Nancy?
Okay, yeah, okay, then
Political.
Yeah, sure.
I just think.
I thought you meant like every human being. I was like, that's crazy.
No, I mean you're already texting it to me on a daily basis, but I just think
You want
people who
text.
legislate sex.
yeah,
You gotta be.
Yeah.
You gotta. You know that Ted Cruz thing where it was on the anniversary of 9/11. He liked a tweet that was a porn clip, and he said it was an intern. There's a pope. The last pope liked something. Pull that up. Please
Pull that
pull it up. It's the first tab. Pope liked an Instagram thought thing.
Oh no!
And they said like, oh, it was an intern or whatever. I don't think so. I don't think so.
Do you think the Pope was on Instagram
Well,
himself?
you say the Pope doesn't?
I don't know. I guess you're right. I don't know.
He was in his 80s, right?
Yeah.
But he
Yeah.
still looks. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
totally.
He it's
No, I meant not that he doesn't look. I just meant like actually.
Wait, does
like,
he have his own
doing
Pope
Instagram.
account, or is it just the Vatican's account?
I think there's a Pope account. Let's.
Oh, that picture of him.
This is the end of
Shame.
times when the Pope can tweet.
I know. Well, this is where. I mean, God, the White House.
Not
Twitter.
November
at
2020.
Franciscus.
Is it for at Francisco?
You know what though? He's got great taste. She's fucking hot.
Sure.
Yeah.
Brazilian model.
Do you follow?
Natalia.
Do you follow the stocks of politicians?
No.
No,
like
but
the
I know.
trading thing,
Yeah,
yeah.
I know it's not good.
I'm into it. I follow them, and sometimes I want to know what's going on. This is how I can see what's happening with world events, what's coming.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's a no-brainer. It should be
Yeah, so
illegal.
therefore-
If stocks were more understandable to the general public, I think they would be furious.
100%. But what I'm saying is that I think that therefore there's totally space to have a website to track a politician's
Yeah.
porn views.
Porn
For
views.
sure.
Yeah, even if it's not
100%.
specific, like general, like Congress. What's the number one search term for Congress?
Yeah.
Let's get that.
Yeah, that's interesting.
By the way, when I said we talked about porn on this, when we're hanging out with the boys, we're also doing a documentary about the negative impacts of porn on.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
This is the downside.
Oh, I should have my headphones on. I'm sorry.
No, it's whatever you want. You don't have to.
You're listening to The Downside
The downside.
with Gianmarco Soresi.
Welcome to the downside. My name's Jameela Jamil. I'm here with my co-host Russell Daniels.
Hi there.
And we're so blessed to be joined by special guest Jameela Jamil. Thank you for being here.
Sorry.
Oh
I
yeah.
prefer you
Don't
here.
worry about it.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're in New York for a bit. You're doing a podcast.
I'm launching a new podcast.
Launching a new
yeah,
podcast.
in
I
the
did your
next
last
few
one.
Days. Yeah, you were on my last podcast, Bad Dates, and now you came on this one. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Your episode was completely hilarious.
Great.
I would love for you to come on
Oh
sometime.
my
Absolutely.
God, he'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Your
and
wrong
now,
turn was sending him pornography and that leading to him.
I know.
It's a podcast that's about all the miserable things that happen to us in life that don't have a silver lining, that don't have some great pearl of wisdom that we can take away from it. I think that we have been, I guess this is one of the things that I hate is the toxic positivity, how everything has to make you fucking turn into a biohacking billionaire.
Yeah.
Sometimes life just fucking sucks and we need to,
I love
it's
that.
anti-inspiration, pro-commiseration.
Yeah.
It's a miserable but hilarious time. And I think there's something just incredibly bonding and unifying about just owning that sometimes life just takes a massive shit in your mouth.
Yeah, because I think sometimes you can get exhausted trying to figure out what the message or what did I learn,
Yeah.
and you're
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
to figure it out,
No,
and it
sometimes
kind of
I
drives
get-
you crazy of like, well, maybe if I had done this, and you're like, no, maybe it was just a stupid fucking thing that happened or bad thing.
Sometimes
and
I
that's
get
it.
dumber.
Yeah.
I don't
Sure.
always get wiser. I get actively dumber.
we are so lucky though in that we get the story at the very least.
Yeah.
we
That's
get
true.
a story.
That's
We
true.
go, okay, I can go back on the podcast.
Yeah.
And that's a similar theme to this podcast, The Downside.
Yeah.
You articulated it far better
Far
than I
better.
ever have
Wow.
in the 5+ years.
Wow.
But that's great. And now you're doing all these comedian podcasts. Every comedian is, let me tell you, very excited to have you on the show.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're a big get.
Yeah,
I
you're a
was
big
not
guy.
aware of that.
I was very prepared.
I'm very in awe of all of you. So my algorithm is almost entirely all of you. So I feel
That's very nice.
I feel very starstruck by everyone.
But you know how it is. I was prepared. Not that you ever have not showed up for a thing, but I was ready. I had a backup plan.
Who was
Who
your
was
backup
the
plan?
backup plan?
We were just
Who
going to do
is she?
No, come on out.
Come on
Kristen
out.
Bell.
That would be funny if we made Kristen Bell wait the whole time.
That would be
thing.
incredible.
That would be really. That would be such a good bit. Oh,
Russell just saw a Kristen Bell musical. You just saw Gypsy. How was Gypsy?
I did. It was great. It was.
Do you know the show? It's on Broadway.
No.
So you're
it's
not a
about-
theater person.
No.
Really?
It was a
Yeah,
weird. It was
I can't suspend like belief or disbelief.
Yeah, that's what you got.
Yeah, I
You
went to
haven't decided
Warhorse
which.
and I spent the entire time watching this horse that's head was on a stick, just going, "It's not a real horse. It's not a real horse. It's not a real horse." And that's what my brain does the whole time. So
Yeah.
I can't. I have no imagination.
So for a musical,
Yeah,
you're like,
this
what? Don't sing that. Sing
It
that.
was-
Say it. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
You would have hated this.
It was a
Yeah.
weird show to see. It was not a weird show, but on Mother's Day.
Oh.
And it's all about like a crazy stage mom who is
yeah.
like really like, you know, drives away everyone. Very super toxic person. But it was great. I mean, it was. You saw it, right?
Oh, yeah. She's incredible. For
It's
matinee.
crazy that she does that 8 times a week.
It is
Who?
Audra McDonald.
Audra
So Audra
McDonald.
McDonald, she's the most Tony-nominated person, I think.
Yeah.
In musical theater. Just a tour de force.
Just
Yeah.
snot, like
Oh,
tears,
she's
like
crying. She's
like
sobbing
screaming,
at the end.
and you're like, that 8 times a week. That's crazy.
That
It's
is
nuts.
mad. Yeah.
Yeah. But very good.
Yeah, I don't know. Every time I see a stage mom, I always go, and it's supposed to be like a drama. I go, "Where's the bad part?"
Yeah.
Oh my God! You brought her to the audition. Whoa! I would have killed for
An
that.
overly supportive mom. Okay.
No, it's obviously toxic, but as like a kid who wanted to like act sooner,
Oh, did you?
Oh,
Were
yeah.
you a theatre kid?
I was a theater kid.
Are you going to do theatre in your lifetime?
He's getting back into it.
Getting back into it,
Oh,
but
that's so
I
cool.
don't
I
want
can
to
see
be.
that for you.
Thank you. I don't want to be the okay comedian in The Good Thing. I don't want to be like, oh, he was good.
He's taking
you gotta
music
see his
lessons.
stand-up.
I see you wanting to do drama to show off your chops.
I don't know if I can.
He's
I don't
taking
know if I
voice
can go
lessons
there.
again
Is he?
to sing
Yeah,
more.
yeah.
Nice.
Drama. It's so much.
I'm
work.
never coming to see you, but I'm
Yeah.
so excited for you.
I just want to play a horse on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, being dramatic. It's so exhausting.
Draining. Yeah.
I saw Philip Seymour Hoffman in a play. Sorry
Yeah.
to keep bringing them up.
No, it's
But
okay.
I just remember he walked on stage and his first line was, "I have such thoughts," and he started weeping. And I said,
Yeah.
"Jesus Christ, you had to feel that today?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
But being in a comedy where no one's laughing, that's draining too. You know what I mean?
I'm not familiar, but tell us about it.
My headphones are cutting in and out. I guess I'll take them off.
Okay, great. With no headphones episode.
Yep.
So, you're doing all these comedy podcasts.
Doing all these comedy podcasts.
Well, okay. So, So your mom, did she bring you to? Was she into the theater stuff?
She was very supportive, but I didn't have aspirations of like where I grew up, there was no sort of like, then we're going to go to New York and like audition or anything like that. You know what I mean? So I was just doing the school plays, and she took me to those. That happened once
When
a
I
year.
did your podcast, you said you did do a theater thing when you were in school.
Well, no, I lied at the audition for The Good Place because I'd never acted before.
Uh-huh.
And I said I did theatre in London, which meant I was in a school play when I was 9.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
it's still technically on the stage in London. So
Yeah.
I didn't want them to think that I had no idea what I was doing. And that got me through the door. And then I was able to audition for Mike Schur. And
What was that show?
That was The Good Place.
No.
Oh,
When you were 9.
Oh, I was sorry. I was Titania in A Midsummer Night's Dream.
Yeah.
Okay, you're Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Shakespeare
Yeah,
guy.
She's like the fairy queen or
Yes,
something, right?
yeah.
And this was at a school for disabled children.
Yes, it was. Well remembered.
Of
Wow.
course, I said first thing to bring up on the pod.
Where I got bullied
Yeah.
by children who were more disabled than me, which lets you know where you stand.
Yeah.
That's good.
So
It was humbling and good.
what was your disability?
I was deaf
You were deaf.
and I used to fall over a lot.
And were those two connected or just?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I have something called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome and I also have a lack of balance. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Ehlers-Danlos, is that connected to Marfan's?
I don't
Is that
know
similar?
what Marfan
It's
is.
Marfan's is a fuck. So Ty opens for me a lot, and his good friend also opens for me. His name Liam Nelson. He has Marfan's, but it's a Tell us, Ty.
Genetic tissue disorder.
Genetic
Yeah,
tissue
yeah, yeah.
disorder.
Mine's a
Yeah.
genetic tissue disorder. Yeah.
It's people with
It
Marfans
makes
are
me
generally
very
tall.
bendy and bent,
yes.
so
Yes. Whoa.
Oh, hypermobility. Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
for the
big
listeners,
time.
bending the arm in a
I'm
way that
bending
is
my arm
unnatural.
all the
Go
way
watch the
back.
fucking episode with Jameela Jamil,
And these
please.
two are rock hard. I can tell you that
Wow.
right now,
Oh
just
my
watching
God.
me.
That's
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah, I
That's
can
hard.
dislocate my shoulders. A school officer came to our school once to show off the new and improved. We were 9 years old or 10 years old in a school for disabled children, and the police came by to show us the new and improved handcuffs should we ever break the law, and it just felt so inappropriate. And I was able to dislocate my fingers and get out of them, and then I got like not suspended, so I put into detention for that.
Because they're like, you listen to the police officer, you make him feel good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I
Yeah.
hurt the police officer's self-esteem, I think.
Is this
But
a UK thing? The police officer comes by?
I've never heard of that before, but they just came over to show off, and that was when I really realised that I have a backup of a life in crime, and that was a very exciting. It's an amazing feeling to know you have a backup in life. You know,
Yeah.
For some people, that's going to be like law or medicine or their family business, but I knew crime was where it was at.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
so
'Cause we
you're-
don't have guns, in the police.
Yes. No, they have
Yeah.
the Billy Club.
Yeah.
Is that true? They have that? Do they have the Billy Club?
Yes.
Okay, that's not just a movie thing. I couldn't tell.
I think it's a more refined, harder stick now, but it's...
Do they walk around and go,
They
with
don't
a
walk
little
around
stick in
swinging
their
it,
thing?
like
No.
singing.
that is a part you played pretty well. I don't know what show it is, but I can see it with the club.
But yeah, very bendy, made for the sheets, not for the streets.
So you got the elbow with the handcuffs. What, your fingers could do something?
I can dislocate all my joints. I can dislocate my shoulder. I'm wearing a super low cut top, otherwise I would show you that I can dislocate my shoulder.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I can sort of skip through my hands. I can kiss my own ass.
So like a
You can kiss your own
I
ass.
can kiss my own ass.
Wow.
going.
Yeah, it's weird that I
This
know
way,
that.
or-
It's weird. Like, how did I find that out? I
Yeah,
think
how
I was
did
just,
you?
I think I was just bending to see how far I could go, and then I was just there, and I just went,
Wait, backwards.
backwards. No, forwards.
Oh, all the way. Okay.
All the way
Backwards
forward, but
would be
all the way
astounding.
forwards. Backwards is,
You have a spine.
yeah.
You had
And
two
it's a
options
marvel.
to go.
But
That's
I get curious about things like that. I've been looking into it recently of how people find things out, like the fact that there's the flavoring of raspberry, vanilla, and strawberry comes from a beaver's a gland next to a beaver's asshole. And I want to know how we know that. Who found that
I
out,
think
and
we
how did
know.
they tell the others?
Yeah, I think we do. I think whatever you think the worst is, that's exactly.
That's exactly
Yeah.
what happened. But how do you tell people that you know? How do you tell people you found out?
Okay.
It's the most suspicious shit I've ever
Tell
heard.
me. So you found this out. You were.
I was chopping up a beaver.
Oh, you're
And
chopping up a beaver.
Yeah, and I was chopping it up, and I accidentally.
Is that a sexual euphemism?
No.
Chopping it up.
They're suspicious of you right out the gate.
Yeah, I was like, oh no. And then I accidentally hit with the wrong part of the axe, and right into the mouth. Oh, interesting.
You're
Cranberry.
a
know?
genius.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to hear more about the school.
Okay.
I'm fascinated by the school.
Okay.
So, how old were you when you started it?
I was 6. I'd moved from another school that I was not coping at.
And at 6, did you know what was the bendiness? What did you call it? What is it called?
Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. No, we didn't know that I had that. My arm used to just hang out of its socket, and then I wouldn't use it for months on end.
And your parents just said, kids will be kids.
Occasionally they'd take me into a thing, and then they thought I was just, because I was very clumsy. We didn't know about this condition.
Yeah.
So I was diagnosed when I was 9, but that was because I dislocated multiple joints at a sports day, and they took me to the hospital, and then everyone felt very convinced I was being abused, and there happened to be because I was covered in bruises, that's a big part of it, and there happened to be a whatever you call it, a fucking consultant. And he found it, and then he knew what was wrong with me, and then I learned that I can't do sports ever, and that was great because I fucking hate doing anything hard.
Do you mean any running?
Can't even do reverse cowgirl, nothing.
Wow.
I probably could, but I like to.
It's good to have
I
an
like to
excuse.
say I can't. Yeah,
I have a crink in my neck. I can't go down
yeah,
high.
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
I get it.
I had a car accident when I was 17 that I still use as an excuse for certain things in bed.
Yeah.
I had the accident, it's
Yeah.
22 years ago.
Sure.
I'm fine.
So you get this, and then and your hearing, is it struggling from the beginning as a baby?
No, yeah. So I was like sort of 6 months, and then have an operation. 2, it goes again, have an operation, and then there was this moment where I realized I was so I would have my like grommets put in, which is like a little tube through your eardrum, and so I would get my hearing back, and then I would get on. My mother was told not to take me on planes, but she thought, oh, Spain's only 2.5 hours away.
Sure.
But it's not really the duration, it's more the ascent and the descent.
Yeah.
So, or I would, join the diving team, and we wouldn't know that that's a very
That's
bad idea
bad.
because of the pressure.
Yeah, it sounds like
So
it was purposeful. It sounds like you're
multiple-
doing everything
Let's do
that
the weird
could.
things to the eardrum.
So I would keep, my eardrum would keep bursting, and I
Let's
would
take her
have
to
to,
EDM concerts. Let's just try this out. I mean,
Yeah.
So I would, and one time, the reason I brought up being bullied by the other disabled children is that one time I came back after a big operation, and I was really excited to have my hearing back, and all the kids in the class, it's like 25 of them, maybe, it's a lot of children, are all mouthing words to each other. So it's completely silent, and I think I've lost my hearing again.
My God.
And I was like, for 8-year-old children to be this creative and organized and no one
Very
messed
organized.
up. So it wasn't until I heard a siren go by that I knew I was being bullied. I completely thought, oh my God, I've gone deaf again. Extraordinary.
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did
Yeah.
you ever
Slay. I
bully
mean, what
them
a
back?
great... No, I never did.
You never did?
I've never bullied anyone in my life. But I'm gonna.
Start of these
Someday.
days.
Right now. Yeah.
Go for it. We're here.
I have big plans for being a big bully when I'm older.
Did it cover the full gamut when it comes to disability? It was just they put all the disabled kids
Everyone.
of every stripe.
Yeah. Everyone.
Good school? Did the teachers?
No, the headmaster was a pedophile. That's on the internet. You can find that. Yeah. So he was a bad dude. Bad dude, bad school.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I'm here.
How long were you there for?
I'm on comedy podcast. I have a comedy podcast now, so
Yeah.
it was worth it.
It was
He
worth
actually
it.
wasn't interested in me because I was very tall and had like a full beard by the time I was 10. So,
I'm
just
sorry, a
sort of-
full beard?
Well, I'm joking, but I looked like a full adult, almost straight out the womb.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. I
Yeah.
guess that's one
Yeah.
of the pluses of being tall.
I know. I was thrilled. Honestly, so lucky. So lucky to look like an adult.
Well,
this
you know
is
what,
going
Liam-
to a weird place
No,
now.
Liam, I don't think he might be saying
Speaking of
Liam.
pedophiles.
Liam was
Liam,
molested.
Liam,
Yeah.
no, but Liam talks about because he was tall.
Yeah.
He was like, what's his joke? It's something about like a pedophile that wants to be Little Spoon.
Yeah. He was like, I've never been molested, but he'd like there was the people that were super into him. So like, if you're a pedophile that likes to
Yeah.
likes to like love a child but also be spooned by one,
Yeah.
I'm your guy.
That is...
Because he gets it's not everyone is super into him, but I guess there are people that are uniquely into him
Sure.
because of the
He's
height.
7 feet tall.
He's 7 feet
7
tall.
feet, also hypermobility.
Who is?
My
Your
opener,
friend.
Liam,
Right.
7
Yeah.
feet. And yeah.
Can't kiss his ass though. So
He does on stage, he'll show his ankle can go like full like this.
90 degrees.
Yeah.
90 degrees.
Yeah.
I got to get someone to arrest him one of these days. So
Can you
see
imagine
what he
him and
could
I
do.
having sex? What a mess that would be.
Yeah.
Just two puddles.
Coming out, Liam.
Two puddles with nipples. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
He's 7 feet tall. I used to have tall jokes. I had to get rid of them all because he comes out and people go, "You're
Well, that's
tiny."
legally a disability as well, because you're legally a giant in the United Kingdom. My boyfriend's 6'8" and he's legally a giant.
Wait, I'm sorry. You
We
use
could
the
have
term
a-
giant?
Giant. You're
We
legally a
definitely-
giant.
Andre the Giant.
No, that's his wrestling name, but we don't
Wait.
use the term giant.
but he
We
here.
still
use the
was a
term
giant.
giant.
He's a
Yeah,
giant.
you're legally a
Yes,
giant.
there
Yeah.
are giants.
Giantism
No,
is
I-
a condition.
No, I know giantism.
Yeah,
or whatever.
gigantism.
But
sorry.
that must be a UK
Giantism.
thing.
No, I've heard of giants. I mean, I think it's a term that we use too. Maybe
I don't
not.
think so.
No,
What
we
do
don't
you
call
think
Shaq a
they
giant.
call them?
In America, we just
Tall
go
person.
tall drink
Lucky.
of water.
Just lucky.
Lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we don't call Shaq a giant.
Yeah, we would call.
We absolutely should.
Yeah.
It's
We-
like the Independence Day shadow,
Yeah.
at the start of the invasion, every time he walks into a room.
Yeah. Oh yeah. God, I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
Sure. Independence Day.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
That's a great
Goldblum's
fucking
in it,
movie.
right?
Great movie.
Yeah. Goldblum, Bill Pullman.
Bill Pullman. It's those classic movies.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a lot of them. So
Yeah.
I'm going to the UK soon.
Yes.
So where were you were born though? Where?
I was born in London, then I moved to Spain, and then I lived in Pakistan for a little while, then I moved back to London.
Do you remember
And-
Pakistan? Like, what age was that?
No, I was very little. I remember bits of it, but that was quite intensely different to the United Kingdom for girls. So we didn't spend much time there because I didn't feel totally thrilled.
Were you with both
Family, yeah.
with parents? Your parents? Why did
Yeah.
they go there?
Because we kept on running out of money, so we would go wherever the pound was the strongest.
Oh,
and so we
really?
would just keep dotting around until, because we couldn't afford to live in England. So that's what would happen. So
What did
yeah.
your parents do for work?
I don't talk about my family.
Oh,
That's
that's
okay.
fine.
Okay.
That's
No, it's
okay.
totally fine.
Sorry.
No, that's great.
No,
Yeah.
it's all good.
Yeah.
I have plenty of mom stories to fill
Yeah.
to fill the void.
We moved around a lot because we were fucking broke. But it's good because this is a life where I can never really be home anywhere. You were just saying that you're on the road every single week, and so it's kind of ideal for me that I never feel attached to anything or anywhere. Any Holiday Inn is home to me.
Sure.
Yeah.
You're staying in nicer places than the Holiday.
No, often I don't. I prefer the Holiday Inn.
Really?
Yeah, because I like practical, clean environments. Obviously, clean and the Holiday Inn.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hit or miss, but I like just very reliable, predictable. I want every room to look the same of where I stay. So I do like a chain.
Do you have status? Is there Holiday Inn status?
I don't know. Should I have status?
Oh yeah, you gotta get status.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
I
do.
don't know
That's
anything
truly
about
the
points.
only
I've
joy
never
of
been good
life
at that. Right.
For,
Well,
on
you're a
the
big
road
points
is like,
guy.
I mean, it just happens.
Yeah.
But I want those Marriott points. They
Yeah.
don't mean anything. The
No,
only
but you do get to use them sometimes and
early
get a free
check-in,
room.
late check-out.
Blowjobs.
That's
You get
valuable.
You get enough, you get a free
Blowjobs.
room.
Yeah.
Can you imagine there's the
Blowjobs.
highest
Oh my
level?
God.
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
That every Holiday Inn
I
you
think
come
that's where
into.
society's going. Yeah,
You think so?
for
You
sure.
really? I don't think it's going in a pro
No,
sex work direction. Not in America.
No.
I disagree. OnlyFans is completely. Everyone's been
true.
telling me to get on it, and I was like, I did not see this coming.
Sure.
I think about it all the time. I'm like, if I could just like pink pill men, but in a bikini on OnlyFans.
I've never heard the term pink pill. I know I assume what it means.
Yeah,
But I hadn't heard that before.
pink pill.
Yeah. So you're going to use OnlyFans.
Yeah, use
and
my
like
breasts.
while you're touching yourself, like talk about.
Yeah.
A woman's
just like,
right to
just-
choose.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just kind of bring them over. It's a spoonful of sugar that helps the medicine go down.
Yeah.
The erection goes up, the medicine goes down.
Yeah.
I think about it all the time.
So okay, so explain to me what are you gonna when you want to pink pill them? What is it that you want to get across?
I want to get across. I don't think that we have a good. I don't love shitting on men as a.
It's very popular on OnlyFans.
I know. I'm fascinated by people who like to shit on each other. Fascinated. I
I
spent
am
some time
too.
in Berlin, and it was really a big thing there.
Oh,
In
wait.
Berlin.
Yeah.
It was a big thing, like in private homes or like in like
No,
public?
like in like nightclubs. My boyfriend went to Berghain nightclub and he went downstairs and there's a sort of like forbidden room that you go into and they're doing forbidden things, and someone was frying shit in a pan.
What are you talking about?
That's what
no
that's
way.
what happened.
No
Yeah.
way. Come
Yes,
on.
Yes.
Really?
Is
That's
this-
a real
is
thing.
this-
That's
That
why his
dude
albums
smell-
are so sad now, because he's seen that.
Is this a basement with windows? No windows.
No windows. Basement.
Just-
The place would smell like shit.
Why are you saying it like I fried my shit?
Because there's
In
no
Berlin.
way.
What is this?
In Berlin, I believe it.
It's
That's-
the whole place would
Berlin's
smell like
famously
shit.
like
Berlin is amazing.
crazy place.
You'll go and buy like a skirt, and someone will give you a pair of amazing leather handcuffs for sex and a whip. You know, it's a completely liberated place. So they don't have this like frenzied underbelly of
Like
sexual
you.
tension like you.
I went to Hamburg. You know what? Now you're right. I went to Hamburg when I was 21.
Yeah.
And all these places I go into like the porn place because they're more public there, and I'm like curious.
Yeah.
And they had in Hamburg, they had a full wall
Yeah.
of bestiality videos,
Oh my god!
and I
I jerked
just-
off all day.
all day. No, it was one of the
Just like
things
a
where
shriveled up raisin by the time he left.
there were some things on the there's morbid curiosity. There was an image that I truly felt like, I think I'm going to throw up in the middle of this store.
Yeah.
Like it was just something
Yeah.
that was so. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess I
That's
do
foul.
believe that.
So it was someone discovering the taste of vanilla and raspberry and strawberry.
Ooh,
So
frying shit though.
Okay, Kat, you want to hear? I feel like you'd enjoy this. So there's this. So
I can handle anything. Let's go.
I think I may. So I did this walking tour, and it was either in Germany or it was in Italy. I don't remember. I was like 21, just
Okay.
going around Europe. And it was like the cool...
Were the men catcalling the women or not catcalling the women? Because that's the fastest way to remember. Was there an atmosphere of Mamma Mia?
There was
or
not a catcalling, but it was a lot of guys on the tour. So I don't know.
Okay.
No one was catcalling me. Do they do that? They're
No,
catcalling.
so Berlin is crazy where you don't really, men just don't do that. They don't really show attention to women in the street.
They're too busy frying shit
yeah,
in a
they're too
basement.
busy. Yeah, they're dealing with their gut
No,
microbiome.
you know what was in Milan? I was like, I was at a hospital flirting with a woman. It was like 3 a.m, and I was still like flirting with her. And then he comes up and goes, "A rosa for the lady, a rose," and it's a rose. And I go, "You son of a bitch!" And I was desperate at this point. I said, "Sure, I'll buy the rose." But he goes right in between you with the rose.
Oh.
Yeah,
we
they
were
love
like,
doing
we
that.
were like kind of,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and oh my god, that son of a bitch! It was brilliant. I bought it. I bought it.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Wait, okay, so you were on a walk.
So I was on a walk. This guy, he said, and I feel like it was Germany because it just feels like it was like 1910s. He said there used to be a place, a rumored place. You'd go, you'd pick a goose. They'd have, like where you pick a lobster out of a tank,
Yeah.
and you'd fuck the goose.
Sure.
And then
Wait, do they have a big enough hole?
I guess.
I don't think they
I
were
guess- Come
on, you
necessarily
know.
Depends
enjoying
on the
it.
You
goose. Depends
know.
on the guy, right?
Tell us what fruit it tastes like. And apparently it's really bad. And then when you were ready to climax,
Wait.
what?
It's really bad.
It's getting worse.
Okay.
When you're ready to climax, you'd signal to whoever your attendant was. They would slit the goose's throat.
No.
Because I'm sorry, we're not getting monetized in
Did
this
it
one.
tighten
Great.
the goose puss?
It would, it would.
Well, that's
the
like strangling
final,
someone, right?
Yeah, and then
What
because
kind of walking tour was this that you go on?
I swear it
What's
was
wrong
it
with
was
you?
not a sex tour. He just said it, but then here's the
This was
final
definitely
part.
in Germany.
That's what I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
The final part, they cook the goose and you eat it. And I'm too
Okay.
scared to Google it. So I'm putting it out there. If anyone has heard of this, he could have been lying.
Keep it to yourself.
I'm gonna go. I think. I thought I could handle anything.
Why would he lie about that?
Because he might have seen some young Americans and said, "I'm going to tell an insane."
Oh, okay.
You think that, or is that true?
It
I
sounds
sadly-
too detailed to not be true.
It's sadly.
I swear to God, I'm not making it up. What a crazy thing! I've never.
No, I know. I believe you.
I feel like you've done it.
I feel
The
like you did
amount
it. The way you're being
Yeah,
seems like you were on the tour.
You're
and then
very
and now
defensive.
it's
Yeah.
your turn to do
Yeah.
it. If you want to do it, and you were like, well, when in wherever you were, that is crazy. Men, guys,
I know.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
I like that
Why
they
you have to
ate
kill it? It's so bad. Like, first of all, the goose is not.
I think at that
consenting.
point it probably wants to die.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
you send it to the goose, it picks up a gun, shoots
think
itself in
we've-
the head.
I think we
Because I don't want to
already
live with
crossed
this.
the line. I always felt weird about putting fish up arseholes as a trend. You know, in the 90s, we would put goldfish.
I didn't
I say
know.
we. I was not doing this, not only because I don't want to do that, but also because no one kissed me till I was 21. So I missed that whole period of fun
but
times.
was that happening? I've never heard this.
Yeah, people were putting goldfish.
I knew
For
the
what-
hamster
for what-
thing.
The hamster thing is that real?
Gerbling, we call it.
Yeah, but is that
Gerbling.
real? Who's
that
doing
is
that?
real. That is real.
Yeah.
It's animal abuse. But
It's animal
goldfish.
abuse. Don't try it.
Goldfish didn't feel as only. and it's
God.
obviously horrific, but they've only got 3-second memory. You know, so I can't figure out if that's better or worse. Do you know what I mean? Like, because then it's like every 3 seconds you're like, I'm
Their
in an
whole life,
arsehole.
this is all they've known.
But also you forget. Your memory wipes. I can't figure out how I feel about it.
Okay,
I don't know how we got here.
you know, so you
I
never
think I started it though.
you never kissed anyone until 21.
I didn't kiss anyone until I was
Well,
21.
how old were your first kiss?
Oh, 12, I think.
12?
Yeah.
Who?
This girl, I can't say her name. She's famous. No, she's not famous. But but I'll respect her privacy. But we were in the same babysitters growing up. You know, we went to the same babysitter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Was it
Was
oh
it
my
your
God.
sister?
It was no.
It's giving
Respect your
sister.
privacy.
No, but
Yeah.
it was in the setting of it was just like it only happened once, and then it was kind of done.
Do you use
know?
tongue?
No tongue. No, it was very innocent. This first one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tongue probably not. God.
Any day now.
Tongue. Oh yeah, tongue. I don't probably high school tongue. I don't think in middle school.
First makeout I had, like
Uh-huh.
she was using way too much tongue.
Yeah.
And I
Right.
didn't figure out until the second. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was one of those
Well,
first ones where I'm like, this has been
I
overhyped.
think we talked
big
about
time.
that one time. There was this girl.
It was like a
who was
washing
doing
machine,
this.
right?
Oh, it was just
She did like really small mouth, and then would do like
Oh, that is horrifying.
like a prairie dog coming up.
What I remember, I had a kiss once in high school where there was the absence of tongue, a zero. It was like a black hole. It was like there's
She was
nothing.
like retracting it.
It's like Pac-Man. Like
Oh wait, so opening her mouth, but
yes, opening the mouth, but
tongue is right at the back. That is hilarious.
and I think that was
That's-
worse. I think that was worse
That
than
is-
the too much
Yeah, I'm
tongue.
about to throw up thinking about that.
That really that actually really darked me out. I don't know why. No,
Worse
my
than
first
the
kiss
goose?
my first kiss was perfect
Oh.
because I was 21 and he was 26 and he knew what he was doing, so it was a great kiss.
Sure.
Yeah, so I'm really glad about that. Obviously, I was very sad for the 21 years, or at least
Were you sad?
like I was super sad. Yeah, I wasn't like not putting it out there. I was desperate to be kissed, but no one wanted to kiss me
Okay. Now,
because of my personality.
you think so?
Yeah, you're not picking up on this already. You've
What-
seen my chat.
What were you like? What were you like
I
in
don't
high school?
flirt. This is what I'm like all the time.
But you're charming, obviously.
Oh, that's
you
very
have
kind.
But come on.
But that
you
was
have you have a
built-
career in
But
entertainment.
that was a built charm.
So what was it without?
I had a very school shooter vibe at school.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
really?
Yeah, yeah.
What you were
Yeah.
wearing trench coats?
But just well, no, not a flasher. Do they wear trenches? I feel like they wear like military jackets and
Yeah.
stuff. No, I was just a very awkward, strange child. I'm sure being deaf for a lot of my childhood probably slowed me down socially.
Sure.
But I was
Yeah.
also very into staring at people because I was so used to reading lips as a child. So I would stare at all the girls at school and then they were like, who the fuck is this freak who's staring at us alone in her little green army jacket that I wore all the time at school,
Yeah.
you know?
yeah.
So I was a strange kid. Once I was the kid that used to sometimes the beautiful girls would get me to write to the boys that they fancied at the other school on MSN Messenger because I was very tomboyish and I was pretty much raised almost as a boy by my older brother, and so I
You
was
mean just
good
like-
at talking
just like-
to boys, so like talking about like Super Mario or like football or all these different things, and so I was kind of living. It's like Roxanne, you know, the Steve
Yeah, yeah,
Martin
yeah.
film. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I was living that life where I was talking to really handsome boys at the other school, UCS or Highgate, and the hot girls would be getting me to write to them, and they were falling in love with me.
Oh wow.
So what were you saying
But
to them?
they
You're
thought
talking
they
about
were falling in love with the hot, beautiful
Yeah.
Swedish girl that is in my class. And then I would have to meet these boys at house parties and they wouldn't know that I'm the girl. I'm the one you want, and I can't say anything. And then one time I was sitting on a step. God, this is a trauma memory coming back. I was sitting on a step with one of them. His name was, I think, Josh. And he was like, I wish the hot girls had a personality like you, which was my confirmation that I'm not one of the hot girls.
Yeah.
And I was devastated.
Wow.
so
It's fine.
what kind of things would you write them? You'd say like was it like sexy things? or
No,
was
it wasn't
like,
sexy. No, it was just like personality stuff. It was jokes and it was TV that we both liked and football and what happened. And so they thought, oh, she's like, you know, because that's what teenage boys kind of want, you know. They want a girl they want a best friend who they can kiss, you know. They
Yeah.
want someone who's got the same, who's got everything in common, which is why I would have been, you know, a good girlfriend for all of them.
The sending. So they would have you send
Like
messages.
full messages back and forth. Like, so in the
Feels-
evenings, I would be talking to them
Yeah.
as this girl and then updating her on the things that he likes and he's into.
Wow.
And she wouldn't have to do the labor. I was also doing other girls' homework for them. I was like living the nerd nightmare.
It's a dangerous thing. I think we've talked about this. I don't know if on here, but I one time, this is recently,
You were
was
on
at-
MSN
No,
Messenger?
I was at a friend's birthday thing and they were doing it at a casino.
Yeah.
And I ended up talking to like a girl I went to high school with.
Yeah.
That I hadn't seen in a while, blah, blah, blah. and Nicole and I are meeting her and her boyfriend, and we're talking. And people had a lot to drink at this point. And Nicole simply asked this girl, how did you two meet? And they're like, we met on a softball team, and basically she was like, but we didn't really hit it off, and but then we started talking, and she kind of cuts in. He's saying, we started talking and like had this great kind of thing, and we talked, like texted a lot, and she cuts in. She goes, yeah, he started texting me, and I just didn't get him at all. So I had my roommate like talk to him the first couple months. Like I gave her the phone and was like, you talk to him and text him, and I watched in real time this guy go, wait, what?
Oh no.
He had no idea. He had no idea. They had been dating for like a year or two at this point. He had no idea. The first couple months of their relationship, he was texting with her friend, and they broke up that night. They broke up by the end of the birthday party. They broke up.
Did he start dating the friend?
No.
What a
She's
great
alone
movie.
and sad.
Yeah.
But it was so funny because everyone later, people were like, Nicole, what'd you do? And I was like, she's literally just was like, how'd you meet? And this all came out. But watching him in real time, like find this out, it was so crazy.
Oh, that's
he was
so horrifying.
yeah.
There's this guy that I knew when I first moved to Los Angeles who used to do the most appalling thing where he would use his hot married friend's picture on Raya. And he would lure girls in, and he had an amazing personality, right? Amazing personality, but not necessarily a looker.
Yeah.
And so he would like charm these women for weeks. They would be almost like madly in love with him and thinking, I can't believe a guy who looks like this has also got this personality. He would set up a date with them.
Oh no.
This is so hideous.
It's a bad plan.
He would set up a date with them, and they would go there, and they would inevitably be stood up by this man.
Yeah.
And he'd be waiting at the bar, waiting for their self-esteem to hit rock bottom.
Oh my
And
God.
then would turn up, and it's like a horror movie. He would turn up, and he would be like, hey, sorry, are you on your own? And then they'd be like, I got stood up. And then he would know everything that they like, everything they're into, everything about them. So he would be the perfect guy and often get laid. I know, this is absolutely horrifying.
Is he still out there in the Prowl?
It sounds like
out
a
there.
bad Will Smith movie in the 90s. Like, that's the plan. Like Hitch 3.
I know.
or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
I know.
Like-
And then he falls in love. They
Yeah,
find
yeah.
out.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Anything but going to therapy,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Right, Russell?
But yeah, isn't that astonishing?
That's horror. Yeah.
It's very LA.
Sure. That's why I'm back here in New York.
Yeah.
So, your boyfriend now, how long have you been together?
11 years.
11
almost,
years.
I think, yeah. 10 and a half years.
And you also produce with the music? You work with his music?
Yes, I do.
It's very cool.
Did you check my Wikipedia? Which, by the way, is updated almost every day by my school bully from the first school, from the disabled school.
Oh, yes?
Yeah.
How do you know
What
it's
do they
them?
do? They put in the comments she's
Because
still
I've
deaf?
heard from him on Twitter.
Oh my
But
God.
we change it because he makes me sound crazy, and we change it, me and my team, every so often. I'm like, I can't take this anymore. If I'm going up for a job or a campaign or something like that,
What does
I'll
he
be like, I
say?
sound insane on this Wikipedia, and he'll just change it to talk all about my life and my mental health and add all these like crazy details.
And it's from your
and
school.
there's nothing I can do. I know he's from my school. I haven't seen him since I was 9.
Oh my God.
I know. It's flattering, but also scary.
Sure.
Yeah.
But fine. Anyway, yes, I produce on my boyfriend's music, which is incredibly wrong and narcissistic, given that a lot of these songs are about me.
Have there ever been a song about... did he have any old songs about another woman and you said, let's stop playing that song?
Yeah, no, I'm incapable of jealousy. I never get jealous, and I never
Never.
get competitive.
Now,
To the point where it hurts people's feelings.
can I tell you my real reaction? I go, come on.
That's
You
fair.
never get jealous?
I never get jealous.
You never get jealous.
I never get jealous, and thank God, because imagine dating a front man if you're a jealous
That's
person.
true.
Like, women, when I first started dating him, I hadn't been on The Good Place. No one knew who I was, and they would hand me their phone number to give to him because they thought I was his
Yeah.
cleaner, you know. And so that was fine. But I would just give them to him at the end of the night. I was like, someone gave me this. I follow all instructions. Recently, our house was broken into and all the alarms are going off, and the alarm was like, leave the house right away, and they are talking to the intruder. I thought they were talking to me. I left the house. I left the safety of my locked room and ran out into a house that there could have been multiple men in, but I will follow all instructions. My brother used to play a game with me where he would just give me things to hold and see how many hours I would hold them for.
Yeah.
I've said far too much.
No.
Sorry. Anyway, so I follow instructions. I don't have a competitive bone in my body. I don't have jealousy. If someone's even vaguely interested in the person I'm interested in, I immediately lose interest in that person. I don't have any competitive drive. I'm the worst person to be on a team with.
So you're
People
at a concert.
hate me at game
you're
night.
at a concert.
Yeah.
A woman comes up to your boyfriend, goes, "So good tonight, so good,"
Yeah.
and you go, "Yeah, it was good."
Yeah. I'm also
Do you want his
excited
number?
for him. I'm excited for him
Yeah.
that he's getting this attention from this hot woman. I think
Sure.
it's cool. You know,
Yeah.
he was similar to me, not very popular at school with the opposite gender, and so I'm like, oh, she was so hot.
What about
I
vice
get
versa?
excited with him.
Does he ever go? Does he ever vice versa? Does he ever go, hey, whoa, buddy?
No one is interested in me.
Stop it.
No
Stop
one.
it, Jamila.
This is not a fucking
Jamila,
bit.
I'm not
No.
going to accept that.
I'm
No.
gonna fucking fight you.
Sure,
You don't
fight.
understand.
Jamila.
I met Harvey Weinstein and he was not interested. Okay.
Well, let's ask him right
I'm
now.
just saying.
Harvey.
Harvey Weinstein was not interested.
Showed no interest.
Okay.
Would rather go home
No,
and
you met him.
masturbate on
You're
a
friends
plant.
with him too, so
Yeah, I was pals with him.
Yeah.
And
I'm just saying, I have a personality. I've repeatedly tried to explain I'm an like a serial erection killer. I could have my own Netflix series about it. It's my personality.
every guy that gets Me Too'd reaches out like, hey, can you testify that I never made a move on you?
Yes.
I had no interest
And
at
I
all.
always can. I always can. But yeah, I've been given a 5-minute rule before to not speak before sex because I'll ruin it with one of my little Indian voices.
Wait, compare.
No!
You have a great Indian voice too.
Oh my God, do you? I love
No,
Indian
it's his
voices.
little bit.
He'll wait
is-
till we stop
it.
recording.
No.
Shut up! His little bit is that he tries to get me canceled all the time. So
You do. So you go into a voice. You have a
Yeah,
voice
like a
you
creepy
like to
little
do?
old man. Yeah. Like,
Can I please?
what a strong boy you are. You want to put your kebab in my pita?
I could see why
I
that.
can see why a
can see why
5-minute rule
that
needs
5
to be established.
I could see why we gotta wipe the slate clean.
I just don't have any game, man. I thank God for my breasts because otherwise I would still be an incel.
Still an incel.
Well, I was an incel.
Oh right, you were the school shooter. Yeah, or
Yeah,
not, but
Yeah. I was an
vibes.
incel till I was 21, 22. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but thank God for breasts.
I didn't know we had to call ourselves that. I guess I was an incel until I was 18 as well. I never thought of it with that framing.
But yeah, it's not like a bit that I do just being like, yeah, it's such a tomboy at school. Like I was a nightmare. I was a nightmare. But it's fine, because I've kissed 6 people now. So
Wow.
bitch.
That's it.
Yeah.
6.
6.
Including acting work.
No, then
Okay.
it's 9.
Great.
Sorry, I'm too excited. Sorry, no, it's 9.
I haven't had to kiss someone for acting in a long time.
Yeah, me.
I'd be
either.
stressed.
I try to avoid anything where I have to kiss or shag on
It's
camera.
very
I say
uncomfortable.
no to anything with shagging. I'll do a funny kiss, but I won't do anything passionate on
Yeah.
camera.
Really, not even a kiss.
Nothing. I really
And
don't
is
like
that-
it. It just
What
grosses
if,
me out. It freaks me out. It shouldn't be a part of the job.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
It's just.
I like a wave crashing. I like a champagne cork popping.
Sure.
I love innuendo. I don't want to.
Pac-Man.
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's stressful. I'm trying to think if I've ever done.
A sex scene.
I don't know. I don't think I've ever done in like a play. Once I did something that was like kind of like that, but it's stressful.
Yeah, I can't. I wouldn't even know how to act like seductive like that. I just can't. I can't do it. It's too unbearable. I wouldn't
That'd
be
be
able
such
to
a good
have
act.
that
I
out
always
in
say
the
to
world.
myself though, I've taken a couple pole dancing classes, and I try to challenge myself. I'm like, can you, without being silly, try to be sexy?
I can't even do that when I'm trying to get someone inside me. Okay, so I don't have the gift.
Yeah. Well, you
Yeah.
got that voice. One more time. What was it again?
You want to put your kebab in my pita?
Is it just the one
Such
line
a
that
foul.
he has?
No. It's full characters, different
He has a whole
Indian men
backstory.
that this man
Yeah.
has to live with. Yeah,
Can you imagine when The Simpsons got rid of Apu? That's what they replaced it.
a filthy old
Wait, did they get rid of that whole character, or they?
They
just
did. They
recast?
retired Apu. We just didn't hear from Apu again, I think.
Oh,
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know if they recast. I didn't.
No,
follow.
I think it went away, and then people were like, "Well, was this good?" And then it's an ongoing debate. They got 20 more seasons to figure out what they want to do.
God.
So,
But yeah.
working with your boyfriend.
Yeah.
Because my girlfriend, she's a producer on my comedy special coming out soon.
Does that create tension?
Oh yeah.
Oh, does it? Do you not take criticism well?
It depends on
Sorry,
the,
I've made it
the time of
immediately your
day.
fault.
No. It's I mean, honestly, we work together in general. Like, comedically, I'll go to her with thoughts.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
what do you think of this? What do you think of that? She helps
Sure.
me. She helps me to understand
Craft.
taste.
Yeah.
Like, kind of more in a bigger picture way.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it creates tension, of course. We've gotten a lot better at it,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think we can necessarily like write a script together as much as I might want to.
Right.
I think she has a strong vision,
Right.
and it's just tough. She's a manager, so she works with people in a very specific capacity, and I think with genius. But a lot of being a manager is they lead the way, and you guide when they invite you into it. But then the dynamic of like co-writing, that's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
And it'll be like she'll have an idea, and if I have a different idea, I think she goes, no, that's incorrect. And that's tension.
Right.
This is what I want to tell my couples counselor alone. What about you and your boyfriend, though? Ever?
Yeah.
What? Because, like, do you have music opinions or your opinions about...
Big music opinions.
Yeah?
Big
and
music
you're able
opinions.
to articulate them musically?
Yeah, well, I was a musician at school. So my secondary school, I went on a music scholarship. So I have a long background in music. And then I was a DJ, which is different, but also like is musical. And so that's how we met. We were both DJs 10 years ago. He's still a DJ. But anyway, he is very much so the leader of his own shit. I'm not here to try to infringe upon what he's doing. I'm there to just like help him carve it out and like pull him back from what he maybe is too close to the music, because he's listening to it like on loop for 20 hours every day for months on end.
And
So
you're like, it needs to
I'm
be
there
sadder.
yeah. And so I'm there just to help with the music, but we do clash, but never. I know my place in that studio, which is that this is him putting himself out there, and I don't want to fuck up the music. So I like his instincts got him to where he was before he met me. So I'm well aware of that. So I just help him. I help him with the music, but I don't try and take over. I don't try and put my vision on his vision, but I have struggled with tone my entire life and struggled with. He's been teaching me about the shit sandwich, which is where you say the
Nice
criticism.
thing. Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's
I've
funny
already
that
got it
you
wrong.
called it the
Sorry,
shit sandwich. It's a
shit
compliment
Yes.
sandwich.
So it's the shit sandwich is like you say the nice thing, then the difficult thing, then the nice thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we've got that. I was doing shit on toast,
Yeah,
which was
yeah.
just leading with the bad and then saying something nice at the end, which
Yeah.
doesn't feel very good.
Sometimes
apparently.
people make the bread a little too thin. Hey, great job. So,
Yes.
and then you go. You
Yeah,
gotta
Okay,
go.
that's still where I'm at. I'm
Yeah.
still a
Yeah.
Ritz
You
cracker.
need a thick piece of toast.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. I'm
Then a
still
little
learning
bit of
about
shit.
that.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
generally, no. We work together really well. We've been working together now for about 7 years, and it's incredibly fun. And I've just learned my fucking boundaries, not to overstep, because you know he's an artist and he's sensitive about his shit, as Erykah Badu says, and so are you probably.
Oh,
It's
for
so
sure.
personal. He has. Before we started working together, used like lines from my angry emails in his songs,
Really?
which is unbelievably rude.
What's like a line?
I can't remember it now, but it's from his third album. If you've heard anything about how we're not getting along,
Was it that
those
song
are
"Put Your
direct-
Kebab in My Pita"?
Yeah,
That's my favorite. That's my favorite track off the last album.
yeah.
Do you play? Does he say, "Let's put on the music for sex"?
No, oh
That's
my god,
crazy.
no, that's crazy.
I put on my comedy.
No, but I was talking about the fact that the other day that a boyfriend I had a brother who was a music. Wait, did you just say you do that with your comedy?
Yeah, I was like, no one laughed, so we're just gonna let everyone believe that that's true. That's a true fact.
I would love if that was true. No, we do not fuck to his music, but we do fuck to the Good Place. No, can you imagine? Yeah.
Something about that dancing.
Yeah. No,
I remember the first time I ever had sex where I felt like it was good. Will and Grace was playing, and I remember when the credits rolled, I was like, I made it a whole episode.
Yeah.
I made it a whole episode of Will and Grace.
It's a big deal, isn't it?
It's a big deal when those
really
credits
funny.
roll. Oh, so did I. It was amazing.
I dated a guy who would come too fast, and so he started wanting to have sex at the radio, and I didn't know why. And it's because the radio, it's about 3 to 3.5 minutes every song, so you roughly know how long you've been lasting during the sex.
Yeah.
And so as he would come, he would be like 2 songs, 3 songs, and it would been clinging
And
on
one of them
to
was a commercial
knowing if he
jingle.
could
Yeah, it was
just
like a 60
make
second.
it. Yeah,
1-800
yeah,
cars
yeah.
for kids. Like that didn't count.
But it's stressful. It sounds stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, we joked about this sad boys thing where some reviews said he's had sad boy music.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
And
he just
but you
isn't.
read it and you said you wanted to go fuck you to that reviewer.
I think he said "fuck you" to
He
that
said fuck
reviewer.
you?
It wasn't me.
Oh.
It was him. He said "fuck you" to the reviewer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He just didn't like it. He just doesn't think. I think he's been sick of that his whole fucking life. Where it's like, if you have any feelings or emotions, now you're called a sad boy. He's a grown adult man who's being called a boy. It's just like, it's
Yeah.
so
I'm a depressed man.
toxic and weird. And it's like, oh, we used to like sing such loving songs and sing about our pain and our heartbreak, and
Yeah.
now it's all just like, I'm gonna put your pussy in a blender and make pussy hummus out of it.
Yeah.
You know, obviously not exactly that.
Pussy hummus.
No,
Yeah.
but there is a thing of,
the
I
title.
mean, there's that Cure song, "Boys Don't Cry." There's a thing of definitely a thing of like men singing about this sort of thing.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's
It
not,
bothers
he
people
doesn't
in some
appreciate
way.
being emasculated.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he just went for them, and they never gave him a good review ever again.
That's how they. Yeah.
So they took it well.
Yeah, music. It's reviews and music. I think
music-
people don't really review stand-up comedy, but I'm going to London, and
Right.
they it's just
We
a little
do.
bit. And I'm doing Edinburgh.
Any way we
Edinburgh?
can take Edinburgh. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be there.
Oh, you're
But
gonna be
any
there.
way we can take you down a peg, we will. We'll
And
take
it's-
any
Yeah,
opportunity.
yeah.
It's this
Yeah.
weird thing because the PR person said, part of me is like, I'm not doing a one-man show. I do different things. I just do a show.
Yeah.
I put on a show, and sometimes it focuses too much on it's just whatever. And I was like, do I want to say I don't want reviews, or do I want the review? Because I just don't want it to be a thing that you Google my name and there's some star meter thing, and I'm like, oh, I'm a stand-up comedian.
Yeah, if you're doing Edinburgh, you'll get reviewed the fucking shit out of.
Yeah.
I'm only doing a week. Anthony Jeselnik, who's one of my favorites, he did Thoughts and Prayers, which is my favorite special.
One of the
his.
best specials
One of the best specials
of all time, yeah.
And I remember the Edinburgh review was like, 3 stars, and it just didn't get it.
Which is crazy because he's got such dark humor, and we love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't structured, and it was probably like at a time where they were looking
might
for
have
something
been
else,
movie-
or
yeah.
they don't like his thing, and I'm just like,
You know what though? We don't like Americans coming over. We don't like
So-
it. We want it, but we don't like it. Which is like, who the fuck do you think you are? Even if you're English and you go to America, they're like, who the fuck do
Yeah.
you think you are? It's
Yeah.
really intense. So you, like, a lot of English people in America have an anxiety. Have I just made your anxiety about Edinburgh worse?
no,
I think we're
don't
gonna
give
kill
a
it.
shit.
You're just trying to,
I'm
like-
confident in my stand-up abilities. I just don't. It's just weird because there was a college I did where randomly someone reviewed it for the school paper.
And did they like it?
No,
Fuck them.
they said Liam was better than me.
Oh, let's pull it up.
Hold on. You got a positive one the second time you went back, though.
Yeah, but the first review said,
one-
"Don't bring him back."
Yeah, they did.
Oh,
They
God.
did call for that. Do not bring him back for the spring show that you eventually did, and then you got a positive review, which is kind
From
of
the
a
same person or
redemption.
No,
different
different
person?
person. They didn't
Wow.
go. He really evolved in the
Yeah,
last
yeah.
6 months. No, but it was like They were like, he talked about Dragon Ball Z, and I didn't get it. And I was like, okay, that's not my fault.
So you're
That's not my
mad. You're
fault.
mad at a kid, like a child.
I'm
that
sure
reviewed
they're
it.
of age now.
I think they'll love you. You've got an entire podcast dedicated to things that people hate. Like,
Yeah.
all we do in England is hate. It's our national sport.
But we hate in different ways.
What do you mean? Look at Hugh Grant.
Yeah, but he's better than.
Yes.
Oh.
Is that your Hugh Grant impression?
You could do a Hugh Grant. You could do British.
Oh. He is kind of grumpy.
Yeah,
right?
So I've
Seemingly.
I've heard. I'm sure your friends. I don't want to bring
Yeah.
in this, but
I'm not friends with him.
I've heard he's a real sourpuss.
Really?
I've heard some rumors.
I DJ'd for him once, but it was just him and me.
Wait.
That does not sound like a
Okay,
DJ.
no, I know.
That's a date.
No, I know. No. I was hired to DJ at a golf course for a celebrity golfing event, and he was up first, and I was in love with him since I was a small child, and I was so excited, and this was going to be the first time I'd ever met him, but he just kept on getting further and further away, and so it was just me playing music that was clearly agitating him, and
He's like, I
he
don't-
was playing the best golf of his life so that he could get away from me.
Sure.
And that's the one and only opportunity I really had to meet Hugh Grant. Another time, recently, I was on the train to Paris at the same time as him. I left the toilet and realised he was coming in next, and have never been more grateful in my life to have not just done a shit ever in my
Yeah,
life.
that's
It was the
stressful.
most
Sure.
thankful to my asshole I've ever been.
Yeah.
But I'm still being forced to carry the weight of all of the day's smells. You know, he's not going to know which of those smells in that bathroom.
Of course.
Yeah.
General
of course.
bathroom smells are mine.
I always feel like when if I go in and there's already a smell,
Right.
that I feel like when you leave, especially if you just peed, you want to leave and be like, there were smells in there already, everyone.
which makes
like
you sound
want,
completely
you want to like
guilty.
announce
Yeah,
it to
yeah, yeah.
everyone. be
Yeah.
like- I mean, I did that the other day when we were sharing a hotel room in Burlington. There was a strange smell, and I got into the room and I literally walked in and I was like, I texted him being like, the room smells a little weird, just so you know.
Sure.
And then I
And
felt
did
like
you
he
think
didn't believe
immediately
me.
that he'd
He
shat
was
in
in the
bed?
room for 5
Yeah.
minutes first. and
No,
I was
I
like, something is-
wasn't. I literally just gotten in and I texted you right away. I was like, there's a mildewy kind of thing happening here. And then you were like, well, do we have to move rooms? I was like, no, I'm just being self-conscious about like you knowing that the smell is not me.
You're adorable, and I've
And then
just
you-
fallen in love with you.
And then you got it. You got it.
If
Right?
you had
Horrible
smelled what
man.
I smelled, you would lose it right away.
Oh, you smelled it in the hall.
Do you think? Okay, so ready? Here's a scenario. Because
Yeah.
downsides, we're moving on up.
Okay.
Okay, so just because it's you, Sydney Sweeney, she's a guest on the show.
Why is Sydney saying Jesus Christ? I said one text.
She-
one time.
You go in that bathroom. I've already used it, and it smells.
Yeah.
You go in. As you come out, Sydney Sweeney's like, "Oh, I need to use the bathroom real quick." Are you saying something?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to tell her.
I once went to a chicken and waffle place, and as I was going to the bathroom, someone on the way back went, "I'm really sorry."
Good for them.
Good for them.
Good for them.
Do it.
Are you looking for your phone?
I'm looking for my phone.
We've been talking for 6 hours, and it's
What time
underneath
is it?
it's underneath the couch. It's 7:50.
7:50.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Let's go
Yeah.
on to our next segment. This has got to stop.
This has got to stop.
This has got to stop. There's some music.
Wait, I need to text the person I was supposed to meet at 8 because I thought this was just an hour.
Oh,
I'm
my
sorry.
God.
Fucking late, weren't you?
It's my fault. It's my
Just
fault.
fine. You pulled it back
And
at the very
actually-
end when I fell in love with you.
Yeah.
We'll make it fast. I'm
Wait,
sorry,
that's
Jameela.
okay. No, don't worry. I've just got to text them
I'll
because
go-
I
we
hate
can
being
go.
late.
You can go
Being
first.
late is one of my downsides. It's not.
You were 2 minutes late, but
What's
this has got to stop.
This has got to stop. People, when they're getting to the top of the stairs or the top of an escalator and they feel like they've got to the end of the journey for them and they just
Yes.
stop there and they're like, I did it. I got to the end of the stairs or the end of the escalator. And meanwhile, the rest of us are still on the journey and you're preventing us from getting there. So that's this has got to stop. People, it's happened like 4 or 5 times this week and it's like, you guys got to keep moving.
I don't understand what's happening.
Okay, so
here.
when you're like walking up the subway stairs or walking up the escalator up to the subway top, and people just get to the top of it and they're winded or it's raining
it's a
outside,
phone check. Now
or
they
it's
go,
a
"It's
rain,
time for phone
they
check."
check their
Oh,
phone
fucking
and they
phone
just
check.
stop at the top of the stairs. You're like, there's a whole crowd of people still coming. You have to keep moving. It's like traffic. It's
Yeah.
like you have to keep traffic moving. Sometimes it happens when people are leaving restaurants in New York and they just kind of like meander out it's a moving. You got to join traffic. You got to get ready
Yeah.
for the energy of the world and the city and just get on board.
Okay.
So that's this got to stop.
Okay.
Good, this got to stop.
Yeah.
This has got to stop. I know journalism's not doing great right now. These paywalls on these websites for these articles, it's not working. It's not, you see, this article's going viral and it's about how ChatGPT is ruining
I'm just
colleges.
uninformed. It
Exactly.
It
Yeah.
But
turns
also,
me away at every single turn.
I pay for eventually I pay for the New York Times. However, if I open up the New York Times article on Twitter, it's like I have to log in here to log in over here.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
yeah.
smooth.
No.
I would pay $1 for some of these
One
articles
more password
like that.
and I'm going to kill myself.
It's,
Yeah.
it's
One
out of
more.
control.
I'm going to end my life.
And then they go,
Yeah.
The Atlantic. I go, well, I like some articles. And then they go, it's $120 for the year. And I'm
Yeah.
like, get out of here. I'll give you $1 for this article.
Yeah.
Piecemeal or some kind, or cable, some kind of system.
Yeah.
It
I'll
is
suck
not
your dick.
working.
Yes.
I'll suck. I would
Yeah.
suck. Yeah.
Yeah.
$130.
my own dick.
I guess that's all.
your-
Yeah.
I suck on my own dick. Do you have this? Gotta stop.
Oh, just handshaking, please, God, please don't fucking touch me. Like it's sexist. It's a sexist reason, and I'm sorry.
Tell me.
Men play with their dicks when they don't even realize, and they're doing it all the fucking time. It's constant. It's constant. It's the whole time they're on the phone. They're not even aware of it, but they're just rolling it around. They're rearranging it. They're cupping the balls. It's constant dick play, and I don't think that's bad. But I don't think they're washing their hands before they're shaking mine.
Yeah.
And I'm imagining a penile imprint on my hand as I'm shaking hands with a man or a woman who might have touched someone else's dick, and it stresses me the fuck out all the time, and I want handshaking just to end because I don't want to curb people's desire to play with their penises, but I also don't want your penile imprint on my motherfucking hand. Sorry, I didn't even...
No, I think it's very.
I
I
didn't
was-
plan on having a
I think it's
downside,
valid.
but
I was just trying to think before I greeted you out the door if I had touched my.
Of course
self
you
and so-
did, but that's why I hug. I'm a hugger, not because I want to get...
It's a good.
I
never
don't wanna be
thought of it
nipple
like
to
And
that.
nipple.
like, if
but I would-
someone
I
doesn't
would-
want to hug you, say no, please. If I
Please,
shake your hand, you're
please,
touching my
you-
penis directly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just like, it's
That's
all
a-
I'm
I
thinking
never thought
about.
about
And
that. That's a very good
but
point.
during COVID, when we didn't touch each other anymore, I was like, my whole life I've been thinking about this, and it was the first time I felt free. You know,
Yeah.
it was the first time I was like, oh, my hand is just clean, you know, and then straight back into holding hands with each
Yeah.
other and shaking hands with
It is
strangers.
holding
And I'm like,
hands, yeah.
and people will shake your hand after the bathroom and be like, oh, sorry, it's wet. Fuck off.
Yeah.
But that's how you know that's clean.
It could be anything on there, and you
It
know
could
that we
be- you could
always
just be
think
lying.
it's piss. It doesn't matter. You've heard the bathroom. You felt the wet. You're imagining
We don't
piss.
pee on our hands very much. You'd have to
No,
be
but
pretty
when
out
you
of control.
shake it at the end, you get some.
Yeah.
You know, the little shake at the end.
Yeah,
or
but
the
it's a-
shake
it's
and
a
the-
little shake, it's
No,
not
but,
a-
no, but it's like a shake and a squeeze. You know, like it's a.
I gotta tell you, I don't think there's a squeeze.
Oh, I heard there was a little.
It's not like a tube of toothpaste.
like
We
a-
gotta like.
no,
rub.
it's like a.
Anyway, that's my
Yeah,
downside. Is
okay.
hand,
Okay.
like
That's
this has
good.
got to stop.
That's good.
Yeah,
as
this has
but
gotta
hugging
stop. It's
is
gotta
on the
fucking
table.
stop. Yeah, hugging is fine. I would rather be nip to nip than have your penile
Yeah.
imprint on my fucking hand.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Let's go on to our final segment.
You better count your blessings.
You better count your blessing. What's your blessing, Russell?
Weather the last 2 days have been perfect here in New York, and the roof season is back. I opened up my roof again.
He's got a great
and,
roof.
the last 2 days have been perfect up there. Anyways, very exciting for me.
I cannot wait to go to that roof.
Yeah.
My blessing, I do a show. It's my new material show, and I like structure it in a way where I start it, I'm in the middle, I'm at the end. 2 comedians reached out and said, do you mind if I do the format of your show?
Oh.
They asked for my,
Nice.
they like as if they needed my consent. And, you know, I told them, I said, get your own fucking thing, assholes. And that felt good.
Good.
No, it was very sweet.
Yeah.
I certainly did not reinvent the wheel here, but
Yeah.
it was nice that they saw it and were like, I want to try that. That
Yeah,
felt good.
that's nice.
Yeah.
That is nice.
Yeah.
Though it is tough. Whenever a comedian kind of expresses admiration for me, I can't help but see them as inferior.
Oh.
You're such a cunt.
Wow, you really just.
That's the truth.
What a,
Yeah.
I don't
what a,
mean
what
no,
a,
you know what? Own it. Just own it. Live it.
what a crazy blessing
Yeah.
that was just fully ruined at the end, but great.
That's why you
I'm
never
glad you're being
compliment me,
honest.
Ty,
You're being
right?
good. You're-
No, I'm just saying when
We're
someone
keeping
sometimes
honesty.
when you don't when you're self-critical of yourself
Yeah.
and someone likes you, you go, you out of your fucking mind.
Yeah, that's
You don't got
true.
any taste
Yeah.
at all.
Oh, he's
and
pulled
it's a
it back.
mix because you want to
He's
compliment.
pulled it back and he's made it humble.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
see you.
He didn't want to. Yeah,
We
he didn't want
fucking
to.
see
He didn't
you.
want to end up being like I am superior.
Yeah.
No, I didn't say I'm sorry. I say I see you as
They're
inferior.
inferior. Yeah.
Do you have a blessing?
I do, but mine's disgusting.
That's
No,
fine.
it's great.
Okay. Well, I've had an upset tummy for the last 2 days, and I'm really I'm thankful. I count my blessings that my boyfriend's on the other side of the world right now.
Hey.
Because they
I get
don't
that.
open. You know, it's the part of single person behavior that I miss. Is just like because my boyfriend and I've never fasted in front of each other. It's something that I've spoken about publicly. I've made a public statement about it. But I just my asshole can just relax. When I'm alone, but I've been very sick and like I feel like so sick, such terrible smells that I feel like I'm burning a hole in the ozone over New York, and now people are going to get more skin cancer. Like Diptyque can't save me. The windows don't open in my hotel, and I'm just I literally thank God every night that he's not here.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, everyone, but
No.
this is
That's
that
the
same
downside.
personality I was telling you about. I say.
I do think it's interesting. You've never farted in front of your boyfriend, but you've told the whole world about your farts.
Yeah,
It's
but
kind
he's
of like
never
a balance.
experienced one.
Sure.
It's
Yeah,
different.
that's true.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Where can people find
Don't
you,
be sorry.
Jamila?
Oh God, that's the end of the
That's-
podcast.
that's-
That's the last thing I'm
no,
gonna
That's the end.
say.
That's the end.
That's the
That's
end.
how you chose to end it.
I have a podcast called Wrong Turns about terrible decisions we make. Telling that.
This was
just
almost
now.
a preview of that
It was
podcast.
that was a vulnerability hangover. Fuck that I'm gonna have. Yeah. But I have a podcast. It's called Wrong Turns. It's all the funniest people in comedy who are telling their disaster stories, and it will inevitably make you feel better about your life. There's a democracy to humiliation, and that's what the show celebrates.
Incredible.
Amazing.
Where can people find
Yeah.
you, Russell?
At Russell J. Daniels on Instagram. And come see, I'm doing Imaginary Invalid off-Broadway right now and about to be doing Ginger Twinsies off-Broadway after Imaginary Invalid starting in July.
Oh, you're like properly in theatre, and I
I'm a
was
theater
like,
boy.
I hate theatre.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
so
okay.
Sorry.
Hey, I
But
like
I'm a
doing it more than I like
Neanderthal.
watching it. So.
I'm a stupid bitch.
Can I tell
you know.
He's never seen The Good Place.
No, I have. I love it.
Oh,
I was trying not to.
sake.
It's very existential, and I like that about it.
Sure.
Anyways,
sure.
okay, but no. Hey, listen. There's still time, and also
I'm not coming.
You can find me everywhere at Gianmarco Soresi. Guys, join the Patreon, patreon.com/downside. 2 bonus episodes every month, footage from our live shows every month. It's fantastic. Happy Mother's Day. My blessing was gonna be my former stepmom's, but turns out Stepmother's Day is next week. So we'll be talking about it in the next episode. Thank you very much. This is The Downside.
You're listening to The Downside
The Downside.
with Gianmarco Soresi.